Hello, everyone. Happy February. My name is Angela, and I'm in Zone 8 in Central Mississippi. And I just want to invite you to come and watch my first YouTube video. This is Grow With Me, Mississippi, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. Here we're going to start out in my greenhouse. What I'm basically going to go over is how I plan to turn my backyard into my dream miniature garden slash homestead for myself because it just gives me peace to come outside and sit out here and just enjoy the nature and the gardening and the animals and all that. So to start off, we're just going to start here in my garden. Sorry, not my garden, my small greenhouse that my husband built me a couple years ago. The plan is actually to take this one down and we're going to be moving it over the summer. So that will be one of the projects that we'll be working on that I'll share with you. I'm also purchasing another greenhouse that would be my seedling greenhouse, and that will be a project also that will be shared. Um, Basically, anything that's outside that we're working on, the patio, the garden, the greenhouses, my chicken coops, anything like that. All of it will be shared with you to show you how I do things here in Central Mississippi. I have been gardening for uh, over 10 years now. So I know what works really well in my area, and I also know what doesn't work because I've tried just about everything. And this year, I just really want to focus more on what my family eats, what is healthier for us, and just to be more self sufficient, I guess you could say. We are a little bit self sufficient. We don't really depend on the grocery store as much anymore. But my goal this year is to become even more independent as far as food wise. And it has nothing to do with prepping or anything like that. It's just myself, I think it's healthier for us. My kids like it better. I hope that as they get older, they get married, that they can live this way and have their families this way also. So to start off, we're going to start, like I said, we're going to start here in the greenhouse, and you can see my wonderful seed collection. I will be going into, I have a couple videos planned out. That one will be strictly on starting tomato seeds, up potting them, and then planting them out in the garden how I do things and what works for me. I'll have a separate one on peppers as well, and then I'll have melons and cucumbers. So I'll have a video on each separate item, just to help those out there because, like the channel says, grow with me. I really invite you to grow with me, just even if it's just one pepper plant, one cucumber plant, one tomato plant. Just grow something. Um, just so you can see the taste, the quality. You don't have to have a huge garden. You could start in a laundry basket. You can start in a $2 fabric pot. I've started in wood beds, fabric pots. I actually have plastic tubs that are like your storage tubs. I drilled holes in the bottom of them, and I grew potatoes in those for years, and I still have them in my garden, and you'll see them shortly. So we're just going to start in here and do a little overview. And as you can see, I have all of my tomato seedlings right here, and they're really doing well this year. They're really nice and big, and I'll go into the varieties that I grow on my tomato video. So, but just to give you an overall view of them, and then some of the flowers that I'm growing this year. Um, these are some safflowers, some roselle or jamaica in Spanish. And if si hablas español, bienvenidos también. Lo siento, me olvida hay personas solo habla español. Lo siento. Um, I like to be I am bilingual, so I like to reach out to my Spanish speaking viewers as well and invite them as well. And if you have questions, you have comments, you have anything you would like to see, please leave it down in the comments. I will look at each one of those, and I appreciate each comment and request, and any advice that you have. I appreciate it all. Si tiene preguntas o algo así, solo dejo ahí en los comments y yo le vi y dale una respuesta. Um, Again, here we go. We have some more tomatoes, some tomatillos, things like that. Here I have some shampoo ginger that I have going, and then some more seeds that I will be starting today, and that will be in a later video actually. Um, Over here we have uh, marigolds, daisies, some comfrey a comfrey crown that I'm getting started, alyssum, bunching onions, more tomatoes down here. All of my seeds right now until I get a bigger rack. I did have a bigger rack at one point, but my greenhouse is so low right now that it didn't fit in here. So I had to get a shorter rack to start everything. All of my seedlings start right here on this rack out in the greenhouse. I do have heating mats that I started them on, and I have a small heater in here as well for when it got really, really cold. And so as you can see, I have things on here. I have my peppers, which are several weeks old now, so they're doing really well. Newer peppers over here that I've started, and again, I'll go through all the pepper varieties and everything in the video on strictly peppers. Um, and also the point of this greenhouse moving forward is going to actually be to grow in over the winter. I want to continue to grow have fresh peppers and tomatoes, squash, things like that over the winter time. And in my zone, it does get cold. We do have tendencies to drop below freezing, which is 30 to 32 Fahrenheit. um, I don't know about Celsius, so if you're watching this from somewhere else, I'm sorry. So it does get below freezing here, but it's not too often, and it doesn't last very long. So my both of my greenhouses that I'll have that will be constructed and moved, those will be heated for when it does get too cold. That way I can continue to grow because, like I said, here in Mississippi, the sun stays up long enough, the daylight hours are long enough, the cold is away long enough to where I can grow and do those things. Um, so again, and there are tropical things that I do grow here. Right now, this is a Barbados cherry. It doesn't look too great at the moment, but it does have new growth that's coming out, as you can see right there. This will be moved out in the summertime. I also have several other tropical trees that are outside, some bananas and things like that that they do die back in the winter, but they will come back. And like this cherry, they'll be outside in the summertime. And I hope to be able to show you the full experience and what my backyard will look like once we're done. All right. Moving on, we are outside of the greenhouse right now, just outside of my back gate. This is my greenhouse, the hoop house that my husband put together a couple of years ago. It served its purpose for what it was, so we're going to be taking that down and moving it. Excuse the pins and stuff. All of these are going to be. This will be taken down. This one will be taken down. This is my big chicken coop. When I do the segment on chickens and stuff, you'll see everything on the inside of there. This summer, we're going to be doing a paint job and decorating it all nice and pretty because this was just put up last year as a last minute project. So this pen right here will be redone. And just so you know, my chickens do free range. Um, we did have a slight predator issue, so right now they're kind of pinned up in there, not only for the winter, but because of the predator issue. So they have all of this area and even back here on this back side that they can go to, and they can free range all of that and eat all the little bugs and everything that they want. So they do have all of this area that they go through, and none of it's fenced in. During the summer, this area around the pen will be fenced in once we have that set back up and we know that the predator issue is completely gone. And you can hear them now, they're getting ready to lay. But like I said, we're cleaning all of this up, and we're gonna have this set up really, really nice for the summertime. And this is another project that I invite you along to come with me on as we get all this cleaned up and get all of it set up how I want it and have a nice, pretty hen house here. And also, if you can help me with some names for my hen house, um, there are chickens and turkeys in there. So they do coexist together. They are raised from babies together, so they do really well in my pen together. I haven't had any issues with them, but I am lacking a name, and I would really love to get a name for my hen house and have it painted across the side of it. I think that'd be really nice with some flowers on it or something, and just have a name of the hen house. So this is all just storage right now, and what will end up happening is once this pen comes down, my greenhouses, both greenhouses will go right here in this area. And this is a really nice area. It gets lots of sun during the day. Um, so this will be really nice for the location of the greenhouses. Not only that, but I also use the litter and the manure and stuff for my chicken pen in my compost, and I do line the bottom of my beds when I put new beds, garden beds in. I do line the bottoms of them with chicken manure as well. And I'll get into that more once I'm talking about soil and how I set everything up with that. But yeah, this is the future location of my greenhouses. So now we'll move into the backyard, and this is where my main garden is. As you can see, I'm just trying to suppress a lot of the weeds and stuff that are here right now. A lot of this grass and the forgot what they're called, but it's a certain grass that grows here, and I'm just trying to suppress it back because what will happen is all of this will be covered with this black weed fabric. I've ran out of it, so I'm waiting on my next order to come in, and I'll finish covering all this because everywhere that there's weed fabric, there will eventually be wood chips there just to make it look nice and pretty and have everything in order the way that I want it. Right now, what I have planted mostly is just a few cabbages, but mostly onions, some potatoes, and a couple of other things. And I'll show you those as I go. And just so you can see, not everything's perfect in my garden. You can see the yellowing of the leaves of this cabbage plant. It's really struggled when I transplanted it in here, but as you can see, the middle leaves here, they're doing great and they're getting all nice and green. So I'm not really worried about it. It's doing really well now that it's getting established. So, but as you can see, I have green onions I mean, not green onions, I'm sorry, regular bulbing onions all the way around it. And most of my beds will have the bulbing onions around it because I am trying to go a more organic approach this year and not really spray any type of killers or anything like that on my garden beds because I really want to do more of deterrence and attractants for the pests. So I will be planting a lot of garlic chives, onions, garlic, um, calendula, marigolds, borage, all the things that try to either attract or repel pests. That's what I'm going to be working on this year, just to really keep that organic feel in my garden. This is my potato bed. This one's brand new for this year. So this one did not get lined with chicken manure on the bottom, just because chicken manure is a hot compost or a hot manure, and I didn't want to burn my potatoes. So this does have compostable or organic material in the bottom of the bed, like cardboard, eggshells, banana peels, banana leaves, different things like that are lined in the bottom of the bed, just not chicken manure, because I went ahead and planted my potatoes in here, and as you can see, the potatoes are already starting to come up because it's that time of the year for us here. So again, this is that bed, and then I have another bed here. This one's bed is sleeping right now, other than the onions that are planted in there. And then my green stalk, all of my green stalks, I have other things planted in one of my green stalks, and I have planted other things in my green stalks before, and they do really well. But for myself and my family, we found that we really love strawberries in them. So all of my green stalks, I have 5 of the deep pocket green stalks, the original green stalks. All of those will have nothing but strawberries planted in them. And I will bring you along on a video once my bare roots come in. I'll bring you along on a video to show you how I plant those in there. Because the soil that I do use for these that's in here now has already been fertilized and has everything added into it. I'd use the Kellogg's organic potting soil. And what I do is I take black cow manure and or black cow compost, and I mix 1 bag per 2 bags of Kellogg's, and then I also add Purelite, and I add a berry fertilizer as well. So there is already everything in here. There's extra Purelite. It's all fluffy. Everything is good. It's got the fertilizer. It has everything that it needs. Now we're just waiting on the actual bare roots to come in, and this will be planted at. So this bed right here, this is my all calendula bed. There will be a couple of other different flowers in here, but right now there is nothing but calendula and 3 little chicory plants. The chicory plants are these 3 right here. Um, that's what's planted in this, and we are due a couple of cold nights coming up this weekend. So when the cold nights happen, I do have something that I will cover this bed with, just so that they don't die back. Um, Calendula are cold hardy flowers, but I just want to protect them since they're little babies still. So I'll go ahead and have them covered when that happens. And just so you know, the wood that's on this bed, this one and that bed right there, that is the actual wood that I started with probably 8 years ago. Um, those are 2x6s, and these are the bricks or the blocks that I started with as well. These have lasted me 8 years, and they're still really good. There are a couple of places in them that uh, has started to rot, but the ones that were still good, when I pulled the old beds up to put the new metal beds in this year, I decided to keep some of them and just lay them back down and continue to use them, just to show you that they can still be used, and that this is how I started. I just started with just a small one, just like this. It's 6 inches off the ground. There again, I did add cardboard on the bottom just to kind of kill back the grass. And since cardboard is compostable too, that way everything kind of died back with it. Uh, these are my newer beds. Everything, as you can see, is still put to sleep, covered. As I put them to sleep and put them down, they are lined at the bottom with cardboard, chicken manure, organic materials, um, all of the necessary stuff to feed the soil, bring the worms in, to make everything happy. Um, because this year, also, what I want to do, other than just having these beds set like this, I am going to start composting in place. I want to get little small worm bins set up in each bed so that I don't really have to worry about um, the worms anymore. I can just come out, I can put the feed in their little worm bins and move on. Because as I go, I do like to take what I'm growing, what has a little bit of bug damage, I'll kind of shred it up a little bit and I'll feed that back to my soil or feed it to the worms that in turn feed my soil. This bed right here, this is my raspberry bed. My husband really does enjoy raspberries, so I planted that bed for him, and he comes and he picks those all summer, and it produces really well. It doesn't look too great right now, but like I said, it produces really well in the summertime. So now to move on to the other side, and this is to give you an idea of, I still have to fill these 2 beds up, but to give you an idea of how I lay out the bottom of my beds, you can see there's cardboard, there's I forgot the name of that paper, but it's the brown shredding paper that comes in some of the boxes and stuff. I just use that to lay down in there. And then we have eggshells, we have banana peels, spent soil, old celery. There is also some chicken manure in the bottom. I don't put a whole lot. Like I said, I just kind of layer or lightly cover the bottom because again, the chicken manure is the hot manure, and I don't want to burn my plants. So the idea of this is, and I've done this before, but the idea of it is the chicken manure will be broken down by the time the roots of the plants get down into there. This is going to be a tomato bed, so the roots of the tomatoes will be a little closer to the chicken manure than I would really like, but I don't really foresee me having an issue with it. Excuse me. I don't foresee myself having an issue with it just because I've done this before and never had any problems, so I don't foresee having one this year. Again, another green stalk, and as you can see, I do have some strawberries planted in these. But as my bare roots come in, these are just some that I had already. As my bare roots come in, I will be planting these out with the bare roots, and I'll show you that as I do it. The top layer will be filled with flowers, just to draw in pollinators and attract the good insects, the good yeah, the good insects over and to I am so sorry. I'm just getting over being sick still. But to draw in the good pollinators, the good insects, and all that stuff. So that will have flowers at the top, and the other four tiers will have strawberries. In these black containers that are right here running along the middle, I do have um, spinach, some beets, one little strange lettuce that kind of got in there. How, I don't know, but it's living its best life in there, so I don't have the heart to pull it out, so I'm gonna leave it in there. um so I had those just laying around, and I figured, hey, why not go ahead, put some good soil in them, plant them out, and see what happens. So moving forward, um again, this is another bed that is lined with onions. I went ahead and took all my bulbing onions. I do have a few more that will go in these two beds once I get them filled up with soil, and I will bring you along as I fill those up with soil. How I mix my soil, I get a compost mix that my husband goes and picks up in bulk. He'll go pick it up, and when he brings it back, it's from a local nursery. I will mix in Pure Light and some fertilizer and things like that. And I'll bring you along as I do this last batch to fill these beds up. Um, Back here, this is my leaf planter green stalk. And on my leaf planter green stalk, you can see I mostly have lettuce, some herbs, few flowers, things like that. These are bachelor's buttons, and they're really doing really great in here. And you can't see it, it's hiding right now, but there is a little bulb that's coming along inside of there. Here's one right here. You can see the little bulb coming out right there for the bachelor's button. We have lettuce here. We have been eating off this lettuce, as you can tell, so it's really good. We had some with sandwiches last night, and it was really great. We have cilantro. We have these are some flowers here. This is Love Lies Bleeding. Uh, no, Love in a Mist, not Love Lies Bleeding. Love in a Mist. I'm sorry. We have celery here. The celery's doing really great in there. We have parsley. I have dill that's growing in here, and then we have lettuce down at the bottom. So this has been really great. Again, my soil is just the Kellogg's Organic mixed with two bags of Kellogg's Organic per one bag of Black Cow compost, and additional fertilizer added in. That's all the fertilizer that I have done to this since I've planted it. Later in the season, as it continues to grow, I will add a water soluble fertilizer to this, but right now that's all I've done, and it is growing really, really well. Um, this bed right here is more or less going to be my herb bed. I have Italian oregano right there, and then I have thyme that's planted right here. It has kind of died back, but it will come back, so I'm not worried about it. And then we have elephant garlic, and then we have bulbing onions again. There will be marjoram and what else? think just think just marjoram that will be added in here in this bed, and I may put garlic chives in here, but I'm not sure of that. But I know I will put marjoram in this bed. I want to have this all big and beautiful with the oregano, the thyme, the marjoram, because I really do love using my fresh herbs. On my fabric pots, as you can see, I have plenty of fabric pots. I have more over there, and then there's more throughout my garden area. But I continue to use those. I love putting my peppers in those. I have put tomatoes in them. I have put comfrey. I've done a little bit of everything in these fabric pots, and I really do love using them. So I will continue to use them as long as they're good. So here we have a bed of garlic. This is my second year growing garlic. This is a soft neck variety just because hard necks will not grow here in Mississippi. Is the heat just kind of kills them back and it doesn't give them the chill hours that they need. But this is garlic, and then I have a little lonesome nasturtium that's right there. I have found that nasturtium does not grow too well in my climate, but just to have a little pretty for a little bit. It will flower. It'll stay kind of small and it will flower. But again, like I said, it doesn't grow too well here just because of the heat. And then it's hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. So that heat really gets to it, and it doesn't. Because of that, it doesn't do great here. Um, Here, these are the buckets that I told you about that are just the plastic storage bins that you can get from Walmart, or your local hardware store or something. A plastic laundry bucket that you can get, and you can tell they used to be black. They're not black anymore. They've really faded in color just because I have used them for so long. For the past 2 or 3 years, I've grown potatoes in them, and they actually have potatoes in them right now. So they should start sprouting their potatoes any day now. And if you could tell, you can kind of see where it's bent up just a little bit coming up with the straw. So those should be sprouting soon. And again, potatoes, and I love growing potatoes in this method. Um, on these fabric pots right here, again, this is just the Kellogg's organic soil mixed with black cow compost, fertilizer, and then topped off with straw just to put them to bed for now. And when I get ready to plant, my peppers will go into here. Have a lovely little uh, blackberry area right here that I put in one blackberry cane 3 years ago, and all of these are now, this whole area is taken over by blackberries, and I love it because I actually really do enjoy blackberries. I love the flavor of them. I love coming out here picking them as I'm working in the garden, eating them fresh, and the birds love them too. And since the birds love my blackberries, they leave everything else alone. So they come out here, they take all the blackberries they want, and they're good, and I'm good. Um, so this is all blackberry area. And just to give you an overview of what is left in the garden, all this air, this will be, we have potatoes on this side, and then cucumbers and stuff will go on this. And I will, like again, I will share that with you as I kind of plant everything out and show you my layout as I plant it. For my layout to figure up how many plants that I'm going to need, where everything's going to go, I actually do have a Excel spreadsheet that I put together that is an exact layout of what my garden was going to be and where everything is now to the size, and everything is labeled of where I want it, and all of that. So that's how I plan out what's going to go where and when it's going to go, because everything is dated and all that. Um, in this bed right here, there will be tomatoes in here, and then right now on this back side, right through here, through this side right here, I have bunching onions, and on the front side, I have celery. So we do have a sprinkler system that waters all of this, so I don't really have to worry about watering any of this. So, and in the middle right now, there is onions that run along the front side of the beds, and then I have broccoli. So this is just a few leftover broccoli plants that I had just kind of laying around in my greenhouse. I didn't really expect them to sprout, but they did sprout, and it was leftover seed from before, so I went ahead and planted them up and just to see what they'll do. So then as we walk further up here, This is the really technically kind of was the entrance to my garden area. And in this bed right here, I have cilantro, some nasturtiums, strawberries, and garlic that's growing in here. And it's all growing really well. This bed, when I put it together, I actually just re-amended old soil and filled this bed up with that amended old soil. So what I mean by amended, I mean I added blood meal, bone meal, and fertilizer to it. So that's all that's in this bed. And again, just lined it with cardboard at the bottom and organic material, and then backfilled the soil in on top of it to combat mm, to combat ants, because in Mississippi we do have a real serious problem with fire ants, and if you have a raised bed, they will be attracted to it. This little garlic bed right here, I actually have an ant bed in there now that I have to get out. What I do is I do use a ant killer, just because ants are like my worst enemy and I'm allergic to them. So since I'm allergic to them, I will use ant killer on them just to get them out of that bed. And I will go ahead and I will sprinkle coffee grounds and a little bit of cinnamon and pepper, try to do everything I can to deter them from getting in the beds, but occasionally it still does happen. So here we have two blueberry bushes. My soil, not ours, my soil here is on the acidic side, so blueberry bushes do tend to do fairly well when you just plant them straight into the ground. These are fairly new blueberry bushes. This bush right here is only a year old. This one is 2 years old. So I put them in the ground, both of them in the ground last year. So this is going to be their second year in the ground together right here. So we'll see how they do this year. This bed right here is onions, bulbing onions right now. And again, this bed was the same as that bed right there, this bed right here. When I filled this bed, compost, cardboard, organic material, all that stuff in the bottom, and then spent soil that was amended back on top. Up here, we do have some of my fruit trees. This big tree right here, we're taking it down. That way it will give these fruit trees more light. Because as of right now, especially mostly in the winter, in the summer we don't have really an issue, but in the winter time, all of this does get a little bit of shade during the day. So, but since we're going to be cutting a lot of these limbs back and kind of trimming this down, we won't really have that issue moving forward. But we do have two peach trees that are here, peach trees, and then I have two apples. My apple trees are apples for this area. I did do research on them, and when I go into a little bit more detail about the varieties of trees that I have, and how I prune them and all that stuff, I will go over those varieties with you and let you know the types that are here. But just know that I did do some research on them. The varieties I do have work here in Mississippi. They do fruit, and they do pollinate each other, so I don't have to worry about that. This will be the third year in the ground for these, so hopefully this year I'll get fruit off them. If not, possibly next year. But they have grown. They were just a little whip when I purchased them, so they were just one little stick coming up out of the ground. But they branched out and they're doing really great now. So um, you can't see it, but right there is goji berries that I planted this year, and I will let you follow along with the process as that happens, as they grow and all that. But all I did was just dig a hole, add berry fertilizer and a little earthworm castings in the bottom, and put them in the ground just to see how they do. I've never grown goji berries before, so this will be the first year for that. To give you a little overview. And then here on this other side of my yard, um, we are in the process of cleaning up and replacing the weed fabric over here. So excuse the mess. What will happen here is We built this. This was our, I guess you could say, our COVID project. So we had a swimming pool here at one time. We took that out, and I decided I wanted a nice, pretty patio area and something I can put pretty flowers in. So all my furniture and everything is covered right now just because it's been raining so much here and cold. But we are taking up this old black weed fabric, putting new weed fabric down. This all will be wood chipped as well. And then what will happen is my husband is going to build me either a canopy or a pergola or something like that to cover this, to shade this area. And I really do appreciate him for that, because what will happen is I will tell him a project that I want, tell him what I'm thinking about, how I would like it, and he just kind of takes it and runs with it and becomes the project man of it. And as he builds and puts it together, I will be documenting that as well, just to show you how we do things and how he's going to build it. So again, this will all be shaded hopefully very soon. I hope within the early spring months, so we can really come out here and enjoy it for the summertime. So, and then we do have a big industrial fan. That's this one right here. That's what we'll use. I have electricity that will be running out here. He'll have it plugged up and set up to where we can come out here if it's raining, or just come out here in the summertime in the heat, and or in the afternoons, and sit and enjoy uh, just sitting out here and having a little peaceful day, and maybe reading or something like that. So that's what this will be turned into, and all of this will be cleaned up, and you'll be able to see it as we do that project. This tree right here, this is a uh, Santa Rosa plum. The Santa Rosa plum was put there 4 years ago. We started getting fruit off of it last year, so it does really well here in Mississippi in my area, and we really enjoyed those plums. They were very sweet and good. So I highly recommend, if you want a good plum tree, the Santa Rosa plum works really good for me here in central Mississippi. So I really love those. As you can see, there's a little bird nest right there. So maybe there's birds, maybe birds in there now. I don't know. Here we have two redbud bushes. I've cut those back just because I want to keep them real small in this area. And this just kind of shades all of my herbs and some additional flowers that I have right here. I have rosemary. There is chocolate mint in this pot. Um, there is ranunculus and um, salvia, I believe it is, and lilies that are all up in here. This pot right here has lemon balm, because I really enjoy it with tea. And then I have pineapple set, not pineapple sage, I'm sorry, pineapple mint that's in this pot right here. So, like I said, we'll be pulling all of this up to put new fabric down, to redo it all and get all the weeds and everything out. We will lay cardboard down before we put the new fabric down. So this will be cardboard and then fabric on it. As we move further over here, you can see I do have several pots that I raise in. Mostly these are herbs and flowers for the most part. Right here we have, I think it's lemon thyme. That's right. Yeah, lemon thyme. That's right here. And then usually I have zinnias, but right now I think I have dahlia tubers that are in here right now. That's what will be growing in this area, is the dahlia tubers. So that's what's right here. Um, I do have a Meyer lemon tree that's here. It does look dead right now, but I promise it's not dead. It is green on the inside. I have scratched it back and made sure. So this will be the second year. The tree itself is 3 years old, but this will be the second year that it's been in this pot. And I've really enjoyed having this tree in this pot, just because the pot is so thick with concrete. It really insulated the roots when it got really cold here. And what it did, I had it covered with plastic and had lights wrapped around it, so it did stay warm. I did protect it. It may not look like it, but I did protect it during the coldest time here in Mississippi. So it will come back and it'll be all lush and green for the summertime. And I will share that with you as it starts to grow back and we see the new growth come off of it. I do know that I will have to cut some of it back just because the ends of it aren't looking too great. I'm sure that some of them are dead. So, but once the new growth starts coming back, that's when I'll start cutting it back at that point. This is a bay laurel, and again, you can see there's an ant bed right down in here. So I will come in and put ant poison down to get rid of that. But again, this is a bay laurel. It was protected for the cold, but the leaves are dying. So these all the old leaves will be stripped off of it, and as you can see right there, there are new leaves or new buds that are coming in. So this will be filled out again really, really soon with new bay laurel leaves. And I really enjoy having these dried and using them for cooking. Like stuff like red beans and rice or gumbo, things like that. That's what I use these for. More green stalks. These are close by the patio area just because, again, they're going to be filled with strawberry bare roots. And we really, really enjoy strawberries. Between my husband, myself, and my kids, we come out here and we raid all of these every year. I originally started with two. I started with this one and this one over here, and I've had those for three or 4 years now, and I've grown strawberries in them every year. And last year, I really needed to take the old roots out, so I kept what was good and moved over there to that black bed. But everything else kind of died back, so I pulled all of those out. I'm putting fresh roots in them this year, re-amended them, and that way we can have new fresh strawberries in them. This is a new green stalk that I just added for this year, and I decided to do a third one up here just because between myself, my husband, and my kids, we come out here and we raid the strawberries off of these on a daily basis. So they're really, really good, very sweet, and like this is my favorite way to grow a strawberry in a green stalk. This is just it's great. So we have more thyme here. I love to cook with a lot of thyme, so I do a lot of dried thyme. So that's another thyme plant. We have more thyme here. This will grow back and grow out a little bit more. This is creeping thyme, I believe, and there are more dahlia tubers in here. Dahlia is one of my favorite flowers. I love the colorful ones. They're real pretty, and I just really enjoy dahlias. So there are more dahlia tubers in there. This pot right here has really outshone itself. This is not calendula, chamomile. I planted chamomile in this pot 4 years ago. It has reseeded itself every year, and I just kind of forget about it. And I make sure that it gets water once a week, maybe, and it does really, really well right here. This year I decided to come in and put some straw around the soil just to kind of give it a little bit of protection, especially when it got cold. It was out here, so it made it through the cold that was here in Mississippi. So I kind of set it and forget it, and it has done spectacular. There are other bulbing tubers that are in here. I believe this is our first little sets that are coming up right here. So we have little spring bulbs that are starting to pop up. So we have some right there, and then we should start seeing some more along through here. But I forgot which ones those are. I think they're not dahlias. I forgot what they are, but that I'll have to find the information and add it in later. But they are starting to pop up. I have the same thing here. There's more tubers that are up in here. And it looks like, yep, there's one right there that's coming up right here on this one. So that's really great. There's another one. So I'm really excited and happy to see those because it makes me happy when I see the spring bulbs coming up and being all happy. Um, In this one, I have a bearded iris. I do know what is in there. There's a bearded iris, and as you can see in the middle, it's starting to come up. It's struggling just a little bit because of the cold, but it is coming up, and I have other bulbs that are around it also. So, um, on to my fence over here. Me personally, I love to grow my grapevines or muscadine vines on my fence. It saves me from having to add an additional structure in my yard, and then it also, my fence is low enough to where I can reach them, because my kids love to tell me that I'm on the short side even though I'm not. I tell them I'm tall for my size, so I'm happy with that. But this is a muscadine grape that's growing right now. You can see the trunk of it is really thick. It's really happy. I fertilize it twice a year and it gives me tons of muscadine vines, which I'm very happy for. Between my husband, again, my husband, myself, and my kids, we come out here fighting over this. I've cut it back and it did really well last year. It's going to do really well this year, and we can't wait for those. But in the meantime, I did decide to go ahead and plant a few more grapevines. So we have this one right here that is coming up. I just planted this one this year. So that one will be coming up and grow up this post here. And I will go ahead and I'll cut this back just a little bit more just to give it the space that it needs. And as you can see, there's probably a good 16 feet in between both of those. But I do have each every other post throughout my fence has a grapevine on it now. Um, that way I wanted to make sure I had at least 16 feet in between each grape. So that way they can grow up, grow over, do their own little thing, and provide us with all the grapes or muscadines that we want. This one is actually a seedless grape. Uh, that's a muscadine. The one on the other side is a muscadine, and then I have another seedless grape variety that's a little further up. So this one is my oldest muscadine. This is 3 years old. The one that's right here on this post, this is the second year for it. And then, of course, this one and the one that's a little further up, the seedless grapes, this would be the first year for those. So I don't expect any fruit off of those this year and possibly not next year, but I know by the third year it will produce lots of fruit. Again, this one is going on third year, third or fourth year. I'm not really sure. I know we got our first fruits from it last year, and it was just completely covered. And believe it or not, the birds really didn't bother it. Again, since my blackberry is so close to it, because it's my blackberry right here, my birds in my area prefer my blackberries. So I'm gonna let them continue with their blackberries. This tree right here is a mulberry tree. We have not gotten any fruit off of it yet. This is the second year for this tree, and it is huge. I do have to prune it back. As you can see right here, it is starting to bud, which I'm really happy to see. I love it when my trees start to bud out and they're getting their leaves and they're gonna flower. It makes me happy because I know spring and summer is right around the corner. Because I don't like the cold weather at all. I'm just not a cold weather person. This tree right here is a persimmons. It's not budding really, not quite yet. I mean, it has a little bit, but it's not quite budding just yet. So I'm waiting for this one to wake up. It did produce fruit last year. They were okay. They wasn't the sweetest, but I went ahead and I fertilized it really well last year. This will be cut off of it this year. This was just kind of to hold it up when it was just a whip, and I completely forgot to take it off. But my husband's going to cut it off this year, so that will be taken down in a couple weeks. So I'm not worried about that. But yeah, this is my persimmons. So this is my little fruit tree. That's my somewhat of an orchard area. I really want to get a uh pear, yeah, some pear trees to come out. I really want to get some pear trees to put out here. I have the space for it. I kind of have planned out where I want them to go. And then I also would like to get another Santa Rosa plum. So I am working on those. Once I get those and I'm ready to plant those out, I'll bring y'all along with me on that. Up here we have a rose bush, and I the I really have to cut everything back. I have not done that yet, so that's why everything kind of still looks dead right now. Um, this soil here, I have to amend. I need to weed it, amend it, and then mosquitoes. I have to weed it, amend it, and then I will cover it over. But first things first, I will come in and I will cut all of the dead back, especially on this rose bush. We usually put flowers down through here, so they will have additional flowers through here. And then this is my key lime tree. So we have it up here near the house. I only had two of those big concrete pots, or I would have put one of this in the concrete pot, but we put it up here beside the house. This is the south facing wall. This wall does retain a lot of heat in the summer and in the winter time, so that's why it's sitting here. When it was really cold, I did have it covered, so as you can see, it's somewhat dead on certain parts of it. But again, just like the lemon tree, the Meyer lemon tree, I am waiting for it to start to come back to life so I'll know where to cut it back to. So, but it is still green. As you can still see, it's still green. So even the bark is still green. So it is still alive. I'm just waiting to cut it back so I can see where the new growth comes from, and that way I'll know where to cut it back from. Um, so this is my backyard. This is just a little bit about me, what I have going on here, and I just really appreciate y'all's time and your listening to and watching my video. Oh, there's bugs everywhere. I love bugs, but at the same time, I don't like bugs. So, well, again, I just really appreciate y'all listening to me, and I invite y'all to come on this journey with me to transform my backyard into a dream that I've had for a while, just to transform it, to make it better. Because in the end, I hope to have the whole backyard either covered with garden beds or fruit trees and just have it like a miniature food forest out here in my backyard where you can come and just sit if you want to just come and sit and read a book, or you can come and pick some fruit. You can come and just relax. And that's what I really, really want to do. And my neighbors, I always invite my neighbors over to come and sit with me also, to come and to enjoy the backyard that I have, because I do this not only for myself, for my kids, my family. I like to have my neighbors and friends and family and stuff over and just to come and sit and visit and just share with them some of the knowledge that I've attained over the years. And that's what made me decide to do this YouTube video, is to just really invite everybody along with me to come and grow something. Just if you don't think you can do it, I can assure you you can do it. I never started with a green thumb. What if you would have asked me 13 years ago if I would be right here today with this garden, I would have laughed in your face probably, because I could look at a plant and it would die. My husband would make fun of me because I would literally look at a plant and it would die. But today I'm at the point to where somebody can come and tell me, "Hey, I don't think you can grow this in Mississippi," and I will look at them and tell you, "Hey, watch me and see what's going to happen." So I really invite everybody to come and grow with me. If you just start in a small pot with a pepper plant, or if you start in a small pot with herbs, or if you want to move up and start in a green stalk with herbs or something like that, I just really invite you to come and grow with me and to just grow something. It doesn't have to be herbs. It doesn't have to be fruit or vegetables. It could be flowers. I just want you to grow and experience the beauty that is nature and what we've been given on this earth. So just again, come grow with me, and I hope that you can follow along as I complete all these projects and just show you where I started to where I want to be and to how I'm going to get there. I will have additional videos coming out of how I started my seeds, what I use, the soil that I use, how I keep up with them, how I up pot them, and how I eventually transplant them out into my garden. And I really hope that you can follow along with me on that. And again, this is Angela, and I am Grow With Me Mississippi, and I invite you to just come and grow with me. And I hope y'all have a great day.